Okay, so I'm just going to walk you through how to set a goal. And the first thing you do, obviously, is to go and click on the button that says goal. Then you will see this lovely little page here, and this invites you to give the detail about the goal that you're going to set. So my goal is to grow my own, you can see I've already done it here, to grow my own organic vegetables. Okay, and this comes into the goal category. Well, this could actually come into a few of these different categories. It could come into home life, it could be my leisure, well-being activities, it could be for personal growth. But on this occasion, I'm going to giving back, because the reason I'm deciding to do this is because of wanting to be able to share vegetables with friends and neighbours, as well as obviously to eat them myself. So target completion date will be, it's going to be a summer date, because that's when I'll be harvesting. So I'm just going to select the 31st of July. And then in this final box here, goal description, I can give a little bit more detail about this goal. So I'm just going to write that now. So here you can see I've inputted the full detail of my goal. So now I'm going to hit Save Goal. Okay, so this creates a goal. This is now in my list of goals, and it will be showing up in other areas as well, for instance my dashboard. So I now come to my goal plan. So this is the bit where I'm going to put in the detail of how I'm actually going to go about completing this goal. So there are 3 different areas to consider. There's the resources that I may need, the obstacles that I may face, and the actions that I'm going to need to take. So I'm going to start with the resources. Okay, so there are no resources in at the moment. So to put some resources in, I can either click on resources here or on view resources. Okay. So this takes me into where I'm going to list my resources. So the resources that I'm going to need are seeds, and I would also need planter beds. So I'm just going to hit add here and stick in planter beds. I have actually got those, but I'm just going to put it in just so that you can see the way that you do it, and then I can add another here, and so on and so forth. Now I've already got my planter bed, so I don't need to take any action for that one, but the seeds I don't have, so I do need to create an action to help me to get that resource. So I'm going to click on the play button there. So this here, this edit resource section, you can see here the resource I need is seeds. It's editable here, so if I want to change it and put a bit more detail, I can do that there. So for instance, I might write carrots and cabbage seeds for argument's sake. Okay, those aren't actually the ones I'm going to buy. Now, at the time of doing this resource, there may be something that I may need to do some research. So I might need to research which seeds need planting when, so I know which seeds to buy. And then the next thing I'll do is add. I'm going to also add the action to buy the seeds. Okay. Right. So I'm done with that. So I'm going to hit save, but I could also hit back to resources at the same place. But I'm going to hit save just because I want to make sure that this all gets saved. Okay. So the next thing that I'm going to do is go to obstacles. Now you can see the difference here, that the seeds is lit up with the Yolsk yellow because this one has had actions added. Where I haven't added any action, that one's remained blue, but I don't need to plant a bed because I do already have some. Okay, so I'm going to move on to the obstacles. This is now taking me to obstacles, so I need to list the obstacles which I may have when it comes to growing my own organic vegetables. So the first thing is sort of lack of knowledge of how to do it, because I've never done it before. Okay, and also another obstacle will be pests. So, you know, insects and the like. Okay, and other obstacles. I can't think of any others at the moment, but that's okay because I can always come back to this another time to add some more. So what I'm going to do now is add the actions that I may need. So again, I can either click on the action, on the obstacle itself, or I can click on the play button. I'm going to choose the play button, just why not? So again, it's editable, so I can change it to say something if I feel something else is more relevant. And I'm going to add in here my first item. So I'm going to research organic vegetable growing and what needs doing when. Okay, I'm going to save that. And that's the only thing I need to do to help me with my lack of knowledge. So I'm going to hit save, and that will take me back to my list of obstacles. And again, with the pests and the insects, I need to have a think about what I need to do about that. But actually, I'm not going to add anything to that because I think when I do my research, I will also naturally be looking at insects and pests. So I'm just going to save that one. Okay, so now I have finished adding my obstacles. I'm ready to go through to actions. So I'll click on the action button here and it takes us through. Now, as you can see, there are already 3 actions which are in place. Okay, so I've got researching which seeds to be planting when, research organic vegetable growing, what needs to be when. I've actually, these are kind of a duplication, but this one's more about seed buying, this one's about what needs doing, and I've got here buying the seeds. So what I'm actually going to do, because I don't want this duplication in here, I'm just going to check that one is done. So that's going to disappear now. So to research the organic vegetables, that needs to be the first thing that I do. So I'm going to go into this one and create a due date for this action. So I know that the sowing season starts in March. So really I need to know, I need to have bought my seeds and know exactly what I need to do by the end of February. So I'm going to set myself the middle weekend of February to do my research. Okay, so now it's asking me whether this is a recurring action. No, it isn't, because I only need to do this research once. Okay, and I would like to be reminded, I'd like to be reminded on the day. So I'm going to select that. And how difficult is this going to be? Now this is asking me to classify the difficulty. So 1 being really easy and 5 being very difficult. Okay, now this is actually going to be quite easy. I'm anticipating, I'd say it's around 2 or 3. If I'd selected 5, I'm just going to show you what happens. If I'd said 5, then this is going to come up and just suggest to me that actually maybe this isn't the best thing for me to do if I'm feeling that it's really difficult. So it asks me to consider some possible alternatives. Okay, so if I did want to add a possible alternative, then I can simply type it in here. Okay, and then once I can do a few, and once I've written, say maybe 4 or 5, then I can look through all of them and decide which is the one I want to do next. I then select the one that I want to do, and that becomes the new title of this action. But on this occasion, it isn't very difficult. It's actually very easy for me to do some research. So as you can see, the action which I have added the details, the dates, the reminders into is now all the icons are in yellow because I've edited the detail for all of them. Okay, now buy the seeds. Okay, so I can go into this one and put again the same thing, put in the dates, put in, so this time I'm going to say, like, I'm going to buy my seeds at the end of February. Is it a recurring action? No, it's still not a recurring action. Yes, I would like to be reminded on the day, and it's difficulty of 1 because again it just takes me to go to the shop, so I can hit save. Okay. Now, I just want to show you how to do a recurring action. Okay, so the way that I'm deciding to do it, the plants and pots that I've bought are ones that have a reservoir underneath them, so I don't need to remember to water them every day, but I do need to remember to water them every 2 weeks. Okay, so I'm going to put in here water the planter pots. Okay, now I don't need to actually set the action list because I haven't planted anything to the planter pots just yet. Okay, but when I do, I am going to be setting recurring actions. Now, just to show you how this is done, let's just say that the first one I need to do it on the weekend of the 12th of March. So I've selected that date, and is this a recurring action? Yes, it is, and it's a fortnightly action. So I've selected fortnightly, and then it's asking me for a reminder, and I would like a reminder on the day because the chances are that on a Saturday when I'm going to have the most time to do it. And again, it's easy. All I need to do is put some water in the planter. Okay, so that's how this is done. Now, the reminder that you get sent is an email. Okay, so it's important to, if you're setting recurring action, to think about how often you want to receive that email. For instance, if it's a daily action, what you select here is how often you're actually going to be reminded. Okay, so if it's a daily action but you only want to be reminded weekly, then you need to write here water the plant pots daily and then select this as a weekly reminder for then actually doing the action. Okay, I'm going to go back to fortnightly and hit save. Okay, so that's what I'm going to set for now. So I can go back to my goal plan just by clicking on goal plan here. So this again reminds me what my goal title and brief, my detail of what I want to be doing and why. Here are the resources, the obstacles and the actions. Okay, so I can come back to this at any time. If I want to come back into this, all I have to do from anywhere within the system, I just go to goals and I see it here, grow my organic veggies, and I can go straight back into that goal and edit it in any way that I please.